Hello everyone again. I hope you can hear me well. So today we are today we are hosting Pelin Hanım here. She's the coordinator of Global Learning and Leadership for Sustainability program in our university. So this is an event for Koç University students actually. And we will talk about the Sustainable Development Goals and their background also. And we will do a quick idea sharing interactive part too. So I'm sure that it will be a great event with Pelin Hanım's effort. Before we start, I want to talk about the solution challenge a little bit. I know you all know about the solution challenge, but let me explain it briefly again. It is a challenge that provides you many opportunities to develop yourself in both solution development, sustainable development goals, and also about the Google technologies. So basically, we need to provide a platform which uses Google technologies and also tries to solve a problem about sustainable development goals. So in this journey, we want to help you and we want to support you as we can. So we have such events to help you develop your ideas and I don't know, learn some technical sides of Google technologies too. So this is our first event and it's about sustainable development goals, and the turn is yours, Elna. Thank you again for being
co-host muyum ben?
I can make you co-host.
Okay, and one more question. We are recording this session, and while you're sharing the session on YouTube, is it possible that the people could only see me and the screen, not the other participants? Because I'm going to invite the other participants to turn on their cameras. Okay, so hi everyone. Thank you for being here. In order this session to be a fun session instead of a boring lecture, your participation is actually crucial. And I invite you all, if you feel comfortable, you can turn on your cameras. You can, thank you, Gizem. You can participate as much as you can. If you are in a place that you're not feeling comfortable, turn on your cameras, that's fine. You can always use the chat box. You can always unmute yourself and participate because we are going to start with a chat actually. So I hope that you feel bit safer at that moment. Also, I'm going to always check the inbox. Okay, we shall begin. So Demet introduced me. This is Pelin. I actually know a lot of you, but there are a couple of students that I don't know. Maybe we can meet. Would you like to introduce yourselves right now, folks? You can unmute yourself and start talking.
Hello, I can go first.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Ramnak Al-Kindi. I'm on my second year of computer engineering and double major with economics. I'm from Oman in Tanzania, and so I'm an international student in Koç University. And I'm excited to be working with GDSC Koç, and hopefully I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Welcome. Have you ever heard about SDGs before, or do you have any idea about sustainability in general?
I haven't heard about it before, no.
That makes me happy. Okay, what else? Who would like to talk? Folks, come on.
I can go next. My name is Zeynep and I'm a business and international relations student, and it's my third year at Koç University, and I'm also really happy to be a part of DLLS like Raunak. This is my first year. I'm a part of the 9th cohort actually. I have heard sustainable development goals before. In fact, I have used them as a part of my academic writing assignment before, but I would like to learn more. I feel like I can use that as an opportunity to improve my knowledge. So I'm really happy to be here.
Yes, for sure. Folks, a little update. Since we're introducing ourselves, I am happy that you're talking. Since we're introducing ourselves, one more question I'd like to ask. When you unmute yourself and talk, please share, what do you feel right now? How do you feel right now? What are the positive or negative feelings you have right now? Okay, what are the current status of your well-being right now? So Ranak and Zainab, if you would like to add those status, I'd like to ask to you too.
Yes, sure, but do you mean just in general?
Yes, in general, but I'd like to know if there is, for example, if you feel stressed, if you feel anxiety, if you feel anxious, like what are the things that you feel right now, you know, and why? This is a part of the mini workshops we actually started. So let me share my screen with you folks. If you don't feel comfortable enough to talk, you can anonymously write down your feelings here. Let me share my screen. This part, you know, and I'm going to take notes once you talk. Okay, Ranak, maybe we can ask you and Zainab, and then we will continue.
Yes,
Very
sure.
briefly.
Okay. I can say I feel anxious.
Okay. Why would that be?
Just because this is something I don't usually do, and I'm yeah.
All right, Zainab.
I'm excited. Learning new things always excites me and makes me happy.
Okay, it doesn't have to be about this session though, like in general, in your life, in the everyday life, you know.
Because of COVID, I feel like everything is on hold again. So that makes me really stressed out, and I'm using this as a coping mechanism to feel like I have my life together, actually.
Okay, okay. You're starting to give me some data to work with, so that's good. Anyone else would like to talk and introduce themselves and talk about their feelings right now? Maybe you can write. Is there anyone who'd like to talk and introduce themselves? Okay, we have something in chat. Why you feel overwhelmed, Melis? Okay. Okay. That's good. What do you mean by slow living, by the way? You'd like to add something? We have other people typing. That makes me happy. Okay. The person who just figured out how to write, please give me some data to work with. Welcome. Does anyone want to unmute themselves and talk? Tired, exhausted, okay. Okay, so maybe I can, today I feel really anxious since I had this important presentation. Okay, so today I went to Sarıyer Nüfus Müdürlüğü. I don't know how to say it in English. And in order to get there, I needed to use the public transportation, which took a long because there was a traffic jam in the middle of Sarıyer. And I lost a lot of time on traffic, and I felt like my personal space was there's no personal space for me, so that makes me a bit stressed. And since it's pandemic, I don't think it's hygienic to be a lot of people in the same bus or minibus. So that was bad. But also I got my job done very fast in like 12 minutes, which makes me happy because now they're using the digital system, which is type of an optimization of time, which is good, which was surprising for me. So yeah, I feel all kinds of things about my day actually. So we got people who's excited about their important jobs, who feel tired, the pandemic, stress, anxiety, who got used to the slow living and now they feel like everything goes so fast. And those all are kind of data you gave me right now. You are not aware of it yet, but at the end of the session, you will be understand why we did this mini practice. And it is really important for you, for you folks to participate. I'd like to highlight that. Please participate as much as you can. And we are going to the second part right now. Let me share my screen again. Okay, I realized that I haven't shared my presentation with you folks, so maybe we can start from there and we will continue to the second part. I already introduced myself, so yeah. You can see 3 pillars here, and soon you'll understand why there are 3 pillars here. Since we're talking about the sustainability and the problems in the world in general, we say there are three bases of sustainability or the categorization of the problems. The first one is economic problems and economic sustainability. The second one is social-cultural problems and social-cultural sustainability. And the third one is environmental problems and environmental sustainability. So for us, it is important to understand those categorization. And in order to do that, again, I'd like you to please think about some problems. Here we are going to the right side of the whiteboard. Some environmental problems. What environmental problems you can think of right now? You can just unmute yourself or you can write down, but I prefer if you would unmute yourselves because I like to hear your voices. Please don't delete the board. Global warming, great. What else?
Air pollution.
Yes. We have something in chat. Okay. Drought, kuraklık. What else? Wildfires, yes. Access to energy, okay. Carbon emission, access to clean water. Vaccines, who wrote vaccines and then deleted it? Somebody wrote vaccines. Vaccination, maybe you can write it down to other category, I don't know, but there's no need to delete it. Any other thing you would like to add? Plastics in ocean. Yes. Microplastics, right? Since we're talking about oceans, maybe we can talk about other things in the oceans. I don't know. Deforestation, okay, those are great examples. Extinction, yes, those are great examples. Thank you very much. Now let us think a bit more about the social cultural problems. Don't move the board. Thank you. Okay, you can write down. You can either use the chat box in Zoom, or you can directly write on the whiteboard. That's totally fine. Or you can unmute yourself. What are the social cultural problems you can think of? Racism, yes, it's a great example. Intolerance, yes. Yeah, misogyny, of course. Gender equality. I think you mean gender inequality as a problem, right? Yes, okay. What else you could think of? Ultranationalism, yes, okay. Migrations, yes. Those are all great examples, folks. Great. If you would like to, wage gap, yes, great one. Maybe we can write wage gap to the economical problems, which is also in relation to social cultural problems. And this is the beauty of sustainability. We will come to that. You can add to economic problems, you can add to social cultural problems, up to you, folks. But maybe you can think of economic problems and we will add to that pen. Zoom chat, you can write your opinions. Wars. Okay, everybody's talking about, okay. Working conditions, yes. Okay. Access to educational materials, paywalls, okay, good. Extra taxes, good one. Not having national health insurance, so okay, good one. It's also related to social cultural problems, so they're related. This is a good one. Okay, I think we're through. Is there anyone who'd like to add anything to any board right now? Okay, so we have one more board, but before going to that board, I'd like to give you one example. Since we covered the 3 pillars of the problems and the sustainability, I'd like to give you one example. And after that example, we are going to think about what are the ways or how we can solve these problems, because those problems are actually global problems, and we all in different level, we are all affected by them. So what would be the optimal condition to solve those problems? We are going to talk about them, but the example first. This is a water dam, and I'm always fascinated by the fake lines of the countries on the globe. You know, environment doesn't have boundaries. And while I'm telling you this, so the water dams, you know the idea of the water dams, right? The water comes from the river, we collect the water in the dam, and then the water turns to the energy, the electricity that we use it. But while we're doing this, actually, we are sort of collecting the water and we are changing the nature of the river. But that river goes to other countries because nation doesn't have borders. So the other countries are actually affected by our decision. And this is just an example. Of course, each country does that, every country does that, but it's just an example. So one solution of a problem is actually creating other problems to the other people or nations or group of people. By remembering that, what do you think that the solution would be? How to solve those problems and what can we do? Who'd like to say something about that? You can use the chat box on Zoom. Eat the rich. This is a good one. Thank you. I'm not sure eating meat is good for carbon emission, but okay. Would like to write something. Would like to say something. Diplomacy. Okay, good one. Building a globally accepting culture. Good one. What else?
Labor unions.
Labor unions.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one. Thank you. Who spoke? Actually, I missed it.
It was me.
I can't see. I'm sorry. Barkay?
Yes.
Baran
Yes.
Barkay. Okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
Barkay.
You're welcome.
Proper and accessible education. Any other thoughts? We still have some time. Protests. Okay. But what do you want to get with the protest? Actually, that would be a good way to think. A global agreement or awareness campaign that is not dependent to one's interest. Okay. Global agreements. Awareness. Good ones. Yeah. Accessibility of knowledge. Protecting languages and cultures from being extinct. Yes. Open access, open data, education. Okay. Great one. I am very happy that students from engineering departments are here. Okay. Anyone would like to add something? We can move on. If you have anything to say, we can wait. Somebody wrote entrepreneurship. I just saw it. This is a good one. The person who wrote it, or any other student here, why do you think entrepreneurship would be a solution? Like, What is the motivation behind? What is the system behind? If you would like to add,
Yeah, I wrote it actually.
Down back.
Yeah, I thought that entrepreneurs could find innovative solutions for the problems that we are discussing here. So governments can develop and sustain entrepreneurs.
This is actually why we are here today. So this is a really good example. Thank you for writing that. I think we're through, we can move on. So far, we've talked about environmental problems, social cultural problems, and economic problems that we could think of, because they're probably endless, but those are the ones that we could think of. And we thought about the possible solutions, how to solve and what to do. And we are very close to get into the world of sustainability. And before I start giving you the SDGs and tell you about the details about the sustainability, I am really curious. When I say sustainability or sustainable development, what comes to your mind? What keywords you would like to share with us today? What is sustainability, or how the sustainability should be, or what is the development? Or when I say those words, what's pop up on your mind? Very quickly, like a couple of minutes. Would like to talk?
If something is sustainable, that means that if it is effective on the long term.
Yes. Yes, good one. Consuming enough to have some more for tomorrow. Good, great definition. Renewable sources. Yes. What else do you think? It can be just a word. Taking a holistic approach when considering priorities, like also taking into consideration the environment and other people. Yes, holistic approach. I like that. Compromise. Cooperation with nature. Good one. Polluting slower than we're cleaning. Good one. Yeah, I really like the definitions coming today. Is there anybody who would like to add something? It can be a definition, it can be a keyword. What kind of maintenance, Demet? Would you like to give more details or thought on that? Of what?
Yeah, generally the sources, the sources that we use.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very similar to the consuming enough to have some more for future.
Okay. Returning a life process which is existing before humanity. Oh, okay. Can I write prehistoric conditions, Ejanas? Is this what you mean in terms of naturally? Like food chains. Okay. Protecting the planet. Okay, I think we have more or less the same idea of the sustainability. We got some definitions, we got some sustainability idea in terms of environment. We have cooperating with nature. Holistic approach is a good one. Okay, so, okay. Thank you very much, all of you. Protecting the planet, of course. Thank you very much, all of you who actually shared their opinions. So let us continue with the presentation. So we've talked about current problems of the world. We are going through a very fast and very destructive process, and environments and social and economic human life in general. In different level, we are all actually experiencing this. And the current systems are apparently failing. They do not work. I am not only talking about the pandemics. Of course, pandemics is a big thing, but think about before pandemics. The current systems are not working fast enough or effective enough to solve those problems, even in 2019, 2020. So we need a new way of, a new approach on economic systems, environmental systems, politics. Today we're talking about entrepreneurship, for example. This is a new way of thinking in economic endeavors, let's say. So we are seeking more sustainable approaches, the approaches that actually shake up the current systems or create new systems. And imagine everyone, every big corporation, every NGO, or anyone who has the power around the world are dedicate themselves and their politics and their economics in a way that they will be respectful and inclusive towards other people, the nature, other nations, and of course, the world. So those are the pictures that I just randomly choose and put here. And maybe you can say which one you feel more related to the SDGs. We're not there yet. Still, we're going to the SDGs. We're trying to understand where we are going. We are trying to guess where we are going. So when you think of this picture, when you look at those pictures, in which way you think those are related to sustainable development goals? Who would like to talk? Very briefly, a couple of minutes. For example, we have a picture of food. I'm sorry, somebody unmute themselves.
I did actually. When I think about the Sustainable Development Goals, I thought very firstly about the inequality, or the environmental facts. So I believe the first and the fourth one attracts my idea of Sustainable Development Goals.
And for the first and the fourth picture, what are the things that you feel attracted to? Like, why those pictures? Why did you, for example, for the first picture, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's about the inequality, or not social inequality, but the resources are available, but they cannot use them.
Okay.
Some of people can use them more, and some of them can even just use the worst of it. So that inequality comes to my mind. And I mean, as I said, the other one is about the environment, the pollution that we create against the environment.
Yes. So for the first one, the inequality of accessibility of the resources. For the fourth one, carbon emission, I guess, and global warming. Probably you're talking about those kinds of things, right? Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay, great. Who else would like to talk? Very briefly.
I think third one is also related to the Sustainable Development Goals because educating the future generations is important to make the world a better place and increase the well-being of people in general.
Thank
Also,
you.
Also,
Yeah, continue, please.
maybe like the seventh one, because medical care is important. For example, in the case of COVID-19, most countries were not able to distribute the vaccines to their citizens, which is problematic.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Zainab, I think you raised your hand.
Yes, that's true. The picture on the bottom left-hand corner reminds me of gender equality, because we can see three different women from different generations, and they all seem like they are educated. So it's important to make girls and women of all ages. It's important to help them get access to education and all kinds of opportunities that men have.
Exactly. Thank you, Zainab. I just want to add something. When you think about gender inequality or equality, maybe thinking about men and women will not be enough to include all of the communities. Also, I couldn't find a picture, but also what you say is totally correct. But maybe we can think about more gender inequality or gender equality in general, including the community as well, queer community as well.
Yes, exactly. Sorry, that wasn't really inclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you think that. Yeah.
Well, I know about that. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention.
No, it's totally fine. I'm just reminding all of you. This is why we're doing this. We're talking, we're reminding, we're trying to think holistic. So that's perfect that you say it. I think last one is also interesting, especially income inequalities, and just like other said, people feel stressed due to not accessing opportunities equally. I think it is one of the greatest reasons we have increasingly more mental health issues these times for not being speaking. That's okay. That's okay, Melis. Thank you very much for this for writing your opinion. Yes, I have a question, all of you folks. You, for almost 1.5 years, you were getting the online education. Does anybody feel burnout during those times, or maybe afterwards, after the school turned into the physical education? Yes, people raising. Yes, thank you. Thank you. If you would like to talk, you can unmute yourself. But if you're saying that, yes, we did feel burnout. I see you, I hear you. This is also a mental health issue. Okay, the number is increasing. Okay. Okay, so we can maybe continue. Thank you everyone. Sharing their opinions. Baran, Melis, if you would like to talk, unmute yourself and talk at that point. Otherwise, I will continue. Okay, I think we're through. Okay. Here we come, the Sustainable Development Goals. We talk about the problems, we talk about the times we are live in as not separated we live in is that we are not separated physically from the other generations and nationalities and geographies, because if one country increases their carbon emission, we also get affected by it. So we have to act together. In order to act together, we have to be able to speak the same language in terms of sustainability. The Sustainable Development Goals is a blueprint for us to be able to do that, actually. Those are the common goals all of the people, all of the nations on the world right now, in order to get a sustainable future, sustainable economic future, sustainable social cultural future, and sustainable environmental future. And we have 17 goals. Everything we talked today actually are included in these 17 goals or the sub goals of these 17 goals. We've talked about food, we've talked about supplier chain, we talk about the accessibility of food. So the first sustainable development goal is no poverty. We talked about the well-being of you, like burnout. We talked about the accessibility of vaccination. Good health and well-being is an SDG goal. We talked about we've talked about food for the zero hunger, no poverty. We've talked about the low income. We've talked about inequality of the wages, etc. We briefly mentioned about the pandemic and online term at the beginning of this session. You said that you're tired and demotivated, maybe you're screen sick. These are very, very related to the quality of education, SDG. We briefly mentioned about gender equality and how all genders needs to have the access of education, and then the access of the equal wages. And I am just briefly explaining to you folks, but there are very, very long list of sub aims of these SDGs, and it is impossible for us to talk about each and every one of them one by one. I am just briefly giving the idea to you. Then if you would like to know more about one of these, we will continue. But for now, it is enough for you to get the general idea, because we will have a couple of examples how to use these SDGs afterwards. So bear with me. We talked about clean water and sanitation for the first, Demet, you've talked about the first picture. So accessibility of the clear water and sanitation is one of the SDGs. Affordable and clean energy, again, this was one of the first things that pops in your mind, so it's good. Decent work and economic growth. We have industry, innovation, and infrastructure. I've talked about the traffic jam. So I also talked about the digitalization. It's also an innovation. So those might be the things that you could think. Reduce inequalities, of course. Sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production. Somebody talked about the plastic in the water, the microplastics. Fish eat the microplastics, and then we eat fish, then we actually eat microplastics. We breathe microplastics because of our clothes. We'll talk about them, those case studies in a bit. I'm continuing with the 13th one, the climate action. I am sure that you already heard about the degrees and carbon emission, the keywords. I am not going to get very detailed about the climate action, because this is probably the COP27, this is probably the most known one when we say sustainability, and you can think a lot of subcategories of the climate action. Life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institution, and partnership for global goals, which brings all of us to Google's solution challenge. And also, I would like to share this website with you guys, SDGs UN.org. You can check out the SDGs here, and you can get more info here. For example, end poverty, for example, zero hunger, for example. For that goal, we have 8 target goals. We have publications, we have good practice examples, and if you would like to get more detail on that one, you can just click more info and you can check it out. So basically, this is how you can use SDGs. But what can we do with SDGs? Let me stop sharing my screen with you guys. Oh, I see more people turning on their cameras, which makes me happy. Okay. I'd like to do a very little case study with you folks. Again, I invite all of you to talk at that point, because this case study will give us the idea of how we can talk about SDGs. Because in your prospect projects, you will identify your SDGs and tell about your target SDGs. So how can we understand? We do not go and say, okay, I am going to do a project in SDG 3. No, we think about the problems and then we say, okay, this problem goes to SDG 7, let's say. So how can we do that? Let's make an example together. Any of you ever heard about a term fast fashion?
Yes.
Yes.
Would you like to? Yes, we have 3 yeses. Anyone else? Zeynep, 4. Okay, anyone else? Fast fashion. Fast fashion, okay. At that point, I would be inviting one of you folks to explain what fast fashion is to other folks, because we have a lot of people who haven't heard the term. Who would like to explain? Yeah.
Isn't that like when, fashion brands can manufacture clothes cheap and in bulk quantities, and they just dump them onto the stores, and it creates a huge waste?
Yes, you gave great keywords. Bulk production, cheap materials, dump the materials.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we can think of, you don't need to name the brands, but you can think of the fast fashion brands at the moment, right? If you go and buy a t-shirt for 20 Turkish lira, you are buying cheap, but there is a cost of that t-shirt. And the cost has been taken from the other resources, from the environment, from the supplier. So let us think what that cost would go. What fast fashion, from production to sale, what could be the problems of fast fashion industry?
Ethical issues, for example, underpaying workers or making them work in unhygienic and unsafe conditions.
Yes. Yes. Who would like to add? Who would like to add? Those are great examples. Thank you. Think about the production, industrial production of, or the materials of the fabrics of the fast fashion brands.
They're polluting actually the environment by
How?
that production. The water is affected mostly, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, and also material is not very qualified, I believe, because it should be fast, it should be bulk, and it should not cost very much with respect to other jeans that are against the, I said jeans because I know mostly the fast fashion is started with the jeans, the production of them.
These are good examples. We have one social enterprise in sustainable jean production. I think you also think of that, right? Bigger jeans.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's a good one. What else you could think? You said material, you said water pollution. We covered underpaid workers, unsafe working conditions. So how about the recycling of the materials? Do you know that the fast fashion industry is one of the worst recycling industries? So what's happened to your old clothes, for example? Think about that.
They're mostly thrown to the trash, maybe donated sometimes, but
You said trash, yes. What happens if those trash get into heels of clothes, old clothes, for example? There is a term for it. Do you know that?
no, I don't know.
Landfill. Landfill.
Okay.
So we have landfill problems in fashion industry. I think those are enough examples to cover, to understand how can we deal with SDGs from one problem. So we said there are underpaid workers. I would like to give you some examples from Turkish fast fashion industry, because in Turkey, a lot of little suppliers are producing some materials to big companies. Underpaid workers. Okay, in Turkey, we have a refugee problem. I say problem because of the political condition of the refugees and their rights. And in little cities, there are refugees illegally are working on the small production facilities with a very, very low wages without an insurance, which causes a lot of problems for them and in the long term for the society. And also some producers are given jobs to children in the production phase. So we have child workers. So we need there is a problem in the there's a social problem in the production phase. You know what I said? Am I clear for that? Like there's a social problem in the production phase. Okay. You said that unsafe working conditions, yes. From the machine safety to the chemicals. In fashion industry, there's a great danger of the chemicals, and those chemicals also polluting the water. When you dye your t-shirt, if you want it to be cheap, you use chemicals. And by using those chemicals, you're actually polluting the water. But not only with the chemicals, the material of this t-shirt itself is polyester, which means plastic. And when you wash that t-shirt in high degrees, when you wash it, you are, there are little microplastics coming out of your t-shirt, and with the water, again, you have water pollution with microplastics. And then I said it, and I will say again, then it changes the flora and the fauna of the oceans. And at the end of the day, also you eat it or drink it. And also the air is polluted by those microplastics from your clothes. So you are breathing those microplastics. Microplastics are inside your body at that moment right now. So it's crazy. We've covered the water pollution. We said the materials are also plastic. We talk about the landfill. Yeah, we are again changing the threading the flora and the fauna of the land on the land, not only in water. So one problem actually goes more than one sustainable development goal. In order to solve this one problem, we have to be focusing on more than one sustainable development goal. We have something in chat. Demet, thank you for sharing these facts. Great facts.
That I have a futuristic approach, which reminds me something I read before. They said in the future, the archaeologists will look at the land and find the evidences of Zara. So
yes, this is so true. We are wearing oil basically, and let us see what kind of social development goals we've talked about with this fast fashion industry. Can you guess? I really want to hear your voices, so this is an easy question. Just unmute yourself and say the SDGs. So we will get familiar with them. Anyone? Demet.
responsible consumption and production. Should I say all of them?
I think maybe you can, yeah, a couple of more. Okay, we've talked you can go ahead, Demet.
Okay, we'll talk about the life below water, life on land, which is the environmental facts. Maybe decent work and economic growth.
Yes.
Can we say good health and well-being for the workers?
I think we can say, and also we can think of decent work environment. So maybe we can say both 3 and 8. For the production of this fashion items, they're using non-renewable energy. So we can say climate action, right? And water, clean water. Maybe affordable and clean energy. It's also related to it.
Can we say 14 life below water?
Yes, sure, of course. Because of the microplastics and the chemicals. Okay, so how do you feel right now? Is that case study of this example make you understand a little bit more of the sustainability and the SDGs, how to look at the problem, more holistic approach, and how to think of sustainable development goals when we're talking about a problem? If you need more explanation at that point, we can look over. If you have any questions about the sustainable development goals, we can go through with that. If not, I am going to jump into the 2021 examples of Google Solution Challenge. If you haven't checked them already, by the way, I checked them yesterday. It was so much fun for me. Brilliant ideas. Maybe we can check 1 or 2 of them together. I think you're clear with the SDGs right now. I think you understand. Any questions so far? No? Okay, so let us continue. Demet, you had the info session 2 days ago of the Google Solution Challenge. And one of the things you said about this whole event was that we are not expecting to save the world, but we want to try make it a better place. So any step, like any little action counts as long as you have a strong solution idea. It can be small, it can be big, doesn't matter. As long as it makes sense, it's legit and you're good to go. So I like to give the examples of Otsu actually, because they're from our land and because I really want to see Bim and A101 on the video. I really like that. And also I think it's really clever because is there anyone who watched it, who watched the introduction video? Could you please raise your hand? Oh, I cannot see. Sorry. Did you watch okay, Demet watched it. Has anyone watched the what was the name of that? Has anyone watched the Q register video from last year? Okay, 2 people. 3 people, great. Q register, yes, okay. Thank you, Damet. 3 people. Okay, so it's a very short video for a couple of minutes. Maybe I can first let you watch the video and then we can talk about it. At that point, can anybody help me how to share my voice, the sounds of my computer?
You need to say share screen part again, new share.
Okay.
When
Advanced sharing
you're
options, I guess.
no, when you are sharing your screen, or your
Okay.
web page, there's something called share sound.
Oh,
at the
yeah.
bottom.
Okay.
You need to check that.
Great. Thank you. Okay, so let's watch it together. I'm not going to let you watch the whole 11 minute, don't worry. So.
Wow, I love that demo and excited to introduce the next one.
Can you hear the sound?
Yes.
Okay.
QRegister, an app that removes the need for physical paper receipts upon transactions and instead encourages the use of QR codes for users to virtually keep track of all their receipts. QRegister was created with Firebase and Flutter. Welcome the creators, Alkım, Deniz, Hümeyra, and Murat from Middle East Technical University in Turkey.
Welcome back to QRegister, the register of the future. Our team consists of curious aspiring engineering students driven to save the planet and improve everyday life with technology. Did you know that the majority of people think that paper receipts are obsolete? According to our survey of hundreds of respondents, most of the users think that paper receipts are ineffective, outdated and hard to keep track of. Moreover, for paper receipt production, masses of trees are cut down, multitudes of water and oil is wasted, excessive amounts of carbon dioxide and solid waste is generated. Keep in mind that these data are for each year in the United States only. Imagine the vast amount of damage paper receipts are causing all around the world. Moreover, 93% of paper receipts are unrecyclable and composed of harmful chemicals which cause diseases including cancer. What if there is a simple solution by using only QR codes? To save our trees, our planet, our home. Introducing QRegister. Our screen is based on Raspberry Pi. It generates QR codes for the purchase according to the inventory files. These QR codes contain all the data in an encrypted form where we use the special hashing system to store data in one string. The QR code is then scanned on our mobile app developed with Flutter, which enables us to build our application faster and create a beautiful UI/UX design. QRegister automatically scans the QR code and asks for confirmation. After the scanning is complete, receipt details will be on the profile page, listed by dates and labeled with supermarket icons for glancing through quickly. The swipe action archives receipts for easy access. QRegister continues functioning successfully in offline mode. We store the encrypted receipt data in the local storage, and once you connect to the internet, we transfer it into Firebase. We upgraded by integrating a barcode scanner, which scans items rapidly. We want QRegister to be effortlessly implementable globally, so as an alternative, cashiers can also connect a webcam to scan barcodes. In the future, we will use the camera to recognize the items without scanning barcodes. Lastly, we are honored to announce that QRegister was selected to be supported by our university. It is anticipated that our first register will be open in our college's merch store and meet users in the summer of 2021.
Okay. What do you think about this project? What problems did you detect from that video? What problems that the receipts cause?
They were unnecessary, they were polluting.
Yes. Zeynep?
They cause deforestation and water
Yes.
pollution.
Water pollution. Canberk?
They cause diseases.
Yes. Cancer would be one of them. Barka, are you raising your hand or you just forgot? Okay. Anyone else? Oh yeah, that's enough. That's enough. And also they're, I mean, from the perspective of the consumer, they're useless. and they also cause a lot of environmental problems. So there's one solution to a lot of problems. They're offering one solution to a lot of problems. It's very easy, it's simple, it's clever, and they got one of the first 10 of the projects, so that's nice. When you think about a solution, or when you think about the problem at first, it is important for you to understand it deeply and think about the effects of that problem. By effects, I am not solely mean the environmental effects, but also economic effects and also social cultural effects. It is very important that you state that you are able to think holistic in the sense of sustainability. You have the filter of sustainability on your mind. It is not something that you add to your equation. It is something that you have to have in your mind always. So I hope those examples give you a better understanding of sustainability and SDG. At that point, if you have any questions to me, or maybe to Demet or Barkay, obviously from the organization committee, I guess, from the background, from the committee of the Google Solution Challenge. If you would like to share any examples, or if you would like to comment on anything at all, this is your time to unmute yourself, because we are getting to the end of the session. So I invite you to talk right now. Yes, Zainab.
I would like to say thank you for this informative session. It was really helpful, and I'm really happy for all the materials we talked about.
Thank you, Zainab. Is there anything which is not clear for you, or if you would like me to go back and maybe try to explain differently, or maybe we can spend more time on?
Actually, I have heard about fast fashion before, but I didn't know it in detail. So it was great to learn more about, and it's clear for me. Thank you.
I'm happy to hear it, Zainab. Thank you.